This is Lee with 82 Game and 12, and I'm here with video 5 over the playthrough of Midway Solitaire, a game designed by Joseph Miranda, and it was published by Decision Games and came out in 2021. This is the deluxe edition, and I'm not for sure what the difference is between, say, the deluxe edition and some other edition. And I know Halloween is over, but I didn't get a video made yesterday like I planned, so that kind of took away my plans there for my Halloween video. So, but we got Frankie there, Frankie the gnome with us, and we got little Frank and Mum the word is the word. Mum the mummy. There also. So, all right. So we ended the last video. We had the SO operation, the Solomons, and I used the American intelligence to gather what the next operation would be, and it turned out to be the Solomons again, SO. So I've got these blocks here that are just following the path of, let me put that right there, the path of the Solomon campaign. So it's going to come down here from Truck and follow down here to Rabal and go down there toward the Solomons and all the way down to New Caledonia. So if you look on the map, there's actually 2 truck, I guess you call them bases, home bases maybe. And that's for 2 different time periods. You got the Port Moresby operation that took place, and then you have the Solomon operation that took place. So took place at different time periods. So that's why you've got 2 here. If you notice, there's 2 revolves, and so that's what we've got here. These planes go with Rabal. All right, so we take the operational marker, okay, that we drew, and it goes up here to the determination segment, and then it's actually going to go to the search attempt segment because we've already done the determination. So what we have to do is we have to figure out if an unspotted task force is within range. And so what we have is, we look down here, we've got Task Force 17, which is made up of Fletcher's task force, the Lexington and the Yorktown, a cruiser, and a destroyer flotilla. So we've got to check here. We've got this base here, and they are within 3 hexes of the base. So there's a chance that they're going to be detected. So we have to roll to determine if they're detected. So on a 1 or 2 on a 6-sided dice, they will be detected. So I'm going to put the our little dice tray there, and I'm going to roll to see. And I rolled a 5. So they are not detected. So they stay undetected. Undetected. Okay, next. That's the only one. These others over here, Task Force 11, which is the Saratoga, and the battleship and another destroyer flotilla is in Samoa. So, all right. So they didn't get detected. So that's good news for me. Then we have the movement segment on the activated route. So we've got to determine if we pick a incident marker. And so, let's see here, when, got to check here to see when I actually would pick that incident marker. So, I don't know if I pick it at the start. Let's see. Okay, so it's after all the task forces have moved. Okay, so we're going to have to roll for movement first. Okay, so if we slide over here, we've got the movement of the task forces. And so what we've got is we've got the invasion. Right here we've got the invasion force. Need to take this one back. The covering, no. The carrier strike force and the support. So, okay, we'll roll for the invasion first. So we look over here and the invasion's right there. So we're going to roll 1 dice and find out how many spaces they're going to move. I rolled a 1, so they just move 1 space. So they would go to here. And then we have the, we're going to roll for the strike force. Okay. That's going to be right here. Okay. I got a 3. They're going to move 2 spaces. So they're going to move here and then here. And then we have the support group, which is here. Rolled a 3. And they go 2 spaces. So now they're all caught up. They're all right there together. And then you have to pull one of these markers to see what kind of incident we might have. And we have a submarine incident. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to look at the makeup of these 3 forces. Okay. So we've got to find the SO. We've got the invasion group. They've got a battleship and transport. So none of those are going to have anything to do with anti. We've got, let's see, the 4th Carrier Strike Force. Okay. So we've got the Zukakaku and the Zau, and a battleship. So, let's see here. That would be a light carrier would roll 1, 2, or 3 through 6. So, um, so actually, he's going to be able to get through to attack. What is it? Okay. Oh, I've got to pick one at random. So they're all going to be spotted. Okay. And then I have to pick one at random. Not. It's not going to be. It's not going to be all of them. Okay, so we picked this one, and that's the support. Okay. So only the support is what we're looking at here. The other two, they're still spotted. But the other two don't get, don't possibly get attacked. So, where's the support? Covering, invasion. That's the support? Yeah. And they are destroyers. So they do get to roll. And on a 1 or 2, the submarine aborts. Otherwise, they get through. Got a 1 or 2, so they abort. Okay. So they're all 3, though, spotted. Put that one back over there. Okay. So we got the movement segment. Now we have the United States Navy reaction segment. Okay. So we are on the reaction segment. Okay. U.S. Navy reaction segment. Right there. Okay, so in the reaction segment, we can launch naval aircraft to attack. So we've got the Lexington and the Yorktown. Let's take a look at what we have, because they've been depleted. All right. And we've got this task force that has carriers in it. So what we have is we got a fighter here. There's a torpedo. A fighter here. the Lexington, these is the dive bombers and the torpedoes. So we're going to send all of these except for Yorktown's fighters. They're going to stay behind to do cap. So, but right now all I'm doing is I'm just launching at first. I'm launching against the spotted task force. Okay. So, let's put these in here. I'm putting them over here on the battle board. And I'll show that. I'll show that once I get done here. Okay, and then I can launch naval aircraft and land aircraft for same space cap missions. So, and this task force is in this Solomon's hex here, is where they're at. So, they don't have any. Let's see, there's not any. The only thing they have there is one for, I think that's attacking like ground forces or something. Let's see what that one there is for. Yeah, ground combat factor. So, okay. So we've got that. So basically, let's see. We got Zakakuku and Zoe. Zahu. We put up fighters. Okay, so they're putting up cap. And well, they've got to attack. Looks like it says they've got to attack. According to this, they've got to attack. Let's see. These may not go cap. We're going to have to roll to see what they do. But we also have this here at Rabol. They all have enough range to get to the Solomons, so they are going to have to go over here and attack the Solomons and try to destroy the base here. So one hit on the base and it destroys the base, but the task force isn't spotted. So, all right, so let's roll for these planes. And we're going to have, we've got the air mission determination table right there. So we'll move some of these over here a little bit. All right, so let's start with, we're going to start with, tweezers go. We'll start with these bombers from Rabol. See if I can, there we go. Okay. All right, so we got land bombers. I rolled a 3. They're going to attack. So they're going to come in to attack. So we'll put them on here attacking the objective over here on the battle board. Okay, the next one is also bombers from Rabol. So we look here, get a 4. They're going to attack also. So, and then the fighters, see what they do. Okay, so fighters, land fighter. I got a 2. They're going to do cap over Rabol, so they don't go anywhere. Okay, so now we go over here and we're looking at the Zakakuku, and let's see what the bombers do. These are valves. Okay, let's see what the valves do. Okay, so that's right there. And we got a 3. Okay, there is no task force to attack. So they're going to attack. They're going to attack the objective. Okay. Which is the base. They don't realize there's a task force there. Okay, so now we have the fighters from Zukukaku. There we go. Zeros. See what they do. I rolled a 2. All right, so they're going to provide cap, which is what they need. Okay, so they're providing cap over, and I've got to put the ships in there. So we've got Zakakuku and the Zoahu. Zauha. Well, I've got this ship too, though. Put that in there. I'll show you the battle board in a second. Then we have the Zuahu. Okay, we got their bombers. All right, their valves. 6. They'll go to the objective. And then we have the fighters. See what they do. And they're going to go cap. So we've got all those providing cap. Okay. So now we actually go to the combat. Mutual combat segment. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the battle board we have set up here. Okay. All right, so what we have, we've got the Lexington's dive bombers and the torpedo bombers and Yorktown torpedo bombers. And then we have Cap flying over Yorktown, and then this escort. So, I don't see what it says about the Cap. So the Cap, see, they're not attacking the U.S. ship, they're just attacking the objective. So I don't see how that Yorktown would be Cap over the task force. So that's not, I don't think Yorktown's going to have a play. So I'm going to put them back. Now Lexington is providing escort, so they would have to fight the Cap here from these two ships. So um, oh. Okay. So I guess what you have to do here is we've got the Lexington here, and they've got to be so this Cap here. Let's have the Lexington take on the Zukakaku, and then the Zuahu will go after the SBDs right here. That's where he's going to go. He's going to be attacking the SBDs. So let's go with this here first. This here. Okay. So we got 4 and we got 3. All right. Okay, so the U.S. They're the green die. Navy, U.S. Navy. They rolled a 5, so they missed. But the zeros got a hit, so they're going to flip these guys over. Okay, then over here we've got the Lexington here, SBDs. They got a 0 there, so they can't even fire back. So it's just going to be the Japanese attacking. And I got a 5, so they missed. They weren't able to get any, shoot any planes down. Okay, so they are now going in. Let's put these back. We can just set them up here out of the way. So now what we have so okay, so the anti-air. Okay, we've got Zukakaku has a 3, so they need a 3 or less, and they got a 1. So they are going to take out the SBDs, and so the SBDs are gone. Lexington's SBDs, they're eliminated. Okay, and so Zahu has to get a 1 or less. Got a 4. And then the battleship, well, that's actually supposed to be an optional unit. So that shouldn't even be. This, I don't know what it says. Let's see. They have 3 units. Should have been one of the other, probably. Should be something else. Someone else's somehow. Anyways, okay, we'll leave it in there. And they got a 1. So they're going to take out, just do Yorktown, and then flip it over while it's eliminated. Okay. So all we have left coming in is the Lexington's torpedo bombers. And so they're going to go after the Zakakuku. And they have to get a 1. That's the middle number. Rolled a 3, so they missed. So they're gonna return back to their carrier. Okay. Now we've got the base that's being attacked, and they don't have any. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. Yeah. They don't have any anti-aircraft or nothing. Okay, so the first one coming in, this top bomber, he's got to get a 2. That's the bottom number. 2 or less. He got a 1. So that's eliminated. So that base is eliminated. And the rest of these guys can just fly back to where they should go. So these guys are going back to Rabal. And these guys here go back. Okay, and their planes go back. I think I'm missing some counters or something. Lexington fighter goes back. Okay. I say that because if you look here, if I look at these air units, like right here, the Kaga should have 3 counters. Okay. Well, they've only got 2 counters. These 2. That's all that's in the game. The Kaga. Okay, same thing there. They should have 3, but there's only 2 counters. So I don't know what happened there. But, you know, if I look at the setup, okay, and I look at the Japanese, they only show on here, on the composition, they only show a fighter and a bomber. Just 2 counters. They don't show 3. So, I don't know if there's just a mistake there or what. The counters have a higher strength, but they've only got 2 counters, a fighter counter and a bomber counter. So they've got the valves, but what about the Kates? They don't have the torpedo bombers. Not that it really makes a difference in this game, because hit's a hit. But they're all valves. There's not any Kates, which I find kind of odd. So, but there's not any other counters. So maybe somebody can enlighten me. Excuse me, on that. So what happened there was the Yorktown, all they have left is fighters. And the Lexington has just a half squadron, I guess, of fighters. Don't have a full. And they've got torpedo bombers. That's it. 1 squadron. So the firepower for this task force is not very good. I think they're going to have to pull back. The base has been wiped out. So there that is. So next we have the mutual combat. Then we have the morale segment, which isn't going to be affected. Let's see, what are you doing here? Where's all this at? Okay, so let's see here. So hopefully you can. It's not coming out too good, is it? So that's the morale segment is where we're at right here. Then we go to the logistics segment. The morale segment is only takes place if you have a loss of ships. So logistics segment. So you got to have a carrier, a light carrier, or battleship that's eliminated. And you got to make a morale check. So, okay. Now we don't have any units that are. We can't. We don't have any damages to any units. We don't even have any air units that are damaged, so no losses. Okay. So then we go to the United States Navy G1 organization segment. Okay. So we can repair damaged naval units. Okay, we don't have any of that. Repair a damaged naval aircraft. Select all reduced naval aircraft at Pearl Harbor or West Coast home base. Okay. And I could also repair a damaged land unit. So I don't have any of that. You know, I have an eliminated base unit, but not one that's damaged. So, okay, so we go to G2. That's the intelligence segment. Okay. All right, so here we can do a naval air search. Okay. But we already know where we've already got the task forces already identified. Okay. We could do a seaplane search, but we don't have a AVD or even a CD unit. So, all right, and the last thing is select one of the following intelligence actions. All of the task forces on the United States naval side are perimeter are spotted. Okay, they're already spotted. See these down here? They're across the dotted line there. All right, so they're already spotted though. Okay, randomly pick one operations marker from the operational marker pool. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pick again. Same thing we've been doing is we got the operational markers here and we pick one. That way we know what's coming. And it's going to be MI. So MI is the next. That's Midway. That's the next one coming down the pipe. So Then we go to operational segment. Okay. And let's see, operational segment. Okay, we can perform a naval operation. So we can select one route, move any and all United States task force and or independent naval units using the U.S. naval movement rule. We could do a launch, a strike. We could do land-based operations. We can redeploy a task force. All right, I think what we're going to do is we're going to have to give up the Solomons, and we're going to have to back up. I think we're going to have to move the task force. We don't want to lose those carriers. So yeah. All right, so down here, we're going to move Task Force 17. And we're going to move it down to New Caledonia. So I guess they could actually go to Samoa because we got Fletcher who adds +1. Movement. And oh, shoot. Forgot Fletcher gives his SBDs and TBDs a bonus of +1. Shoot. I wasn't giving him the bonus. Fletcher's in that task force. Okay, so movement. Let's see what's in that task force. He doesn't have a battleship in there. So they can move 2 places. Okay, but you've got to stop at a home base, Hex. So, okay, so this task force 17 with Fletcher and Lexington, Yorktown, go to here and stop. And we're going to remove these because these are no longer in play. And I do have to pick one of these incident markers. And we got a submarine right there. Okay, so what we have is we got destroyers. And let's see. I don't know if let's see. Yeah. Just the destroyers are the only one. That's all I've got. So, I rolled a 6. So they're going to get through. And so they're going to attack the task force. And they're going to go against, try to sink one of the carriers. Okay. Or hit one of the carriers. Okay. Oh, got a 2, so that's a hit. So, Lexington, 1, 2, 3. Yorktown, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so Lexington takes the hit. So they go to the damaged. So we have to go to, let's see, 9. Okay. It's a submarine. Okay, it doesn't have a submarine over here. I don't know. Let's see. I guess you just have to. I'll just do it on the middle one there, because it doesn't show submarine over here. What I'm doing is I'm looking over here on the for the Imperial Japanese Navy attacking U.S. naval units. Same thing over here on the other side. They don't have the submarine. So we'll just put it in the middle here. All right. And we rolled a 2. Die roll to damage. So the damage happens, and so the Lexington has to go to the U.S. naval damaged units. So, box. Okay, which is right over there. So that's where the Lexington has to go. So she's kind of out of the. She's kind of out of the game for now. Okay, so then we go to logistics segment. This goes back. Okay. Okay, so under the logistics, select up to 2 U.S. naval units in the damaged units display. For each one selected, designate either the West Coast. Okay. Okay. So I can't repair it. So really I can't do anything on any of this. Repair damaged naval units, they've got to be at Pearl Harbor or West Coast. Repair a damaged naval aircraft, they've got to be at the same thing, Pearl Harbor or West Coast. Repair a damaged land aircraft, so this would have to be either home base or a U.S. controlled Imperial Japanese Navy objective space. Repair a damaged land unit, select one reduced U.S. Naval base unit. Okay, they don't have that. The base at Solomon's got wiped out. So, okay, so here we are again. We're at the end of a turn, and these go by pretty fast, but I don't want to get too far ahead here. I think I'll stop here with this video. But let's just do a recap here. So the United States Navy, which is me, okay, has taken quite a licking. Okay. We just got through losing all of Yorktown's attack aircraft. Lexington got damaged and is pretty much out of the game, out of the fight, until she gets back to Pearl Harbor. And I've got the Saratoga that's close, but I don't know why I can't transfer Lexington's aircraft to Yorktown. That's something that they would do. They would transfer those aircraft. Should be able to do that in the game. Transfer aircraft from one aircraft carrier to another interchangeably. They're not actually, just Lexington's aircraft. They can fly on the Yorktown. So I might do that. I'll probably do that next segment. And then we have the administrative phase, which is where we're turning spotted units back over. And there we are. And the next, what I hadn't finished here. So the Lexington got hit by a submarine. And of course, the Yorktown, all of her attack aircraft have been destroyed. She's got a full well, I guess her starting number of fighters. The Lexington, on the other hand, has lost half of her fighters, and all she has left is the torpedo planes, which I'm going to transfer to the Yorktown. Well, I guess the fighters would stay with the Lexington, provide her protection, but the torpedo planes are going to go over to the Yorktown. So, well, maybe they can't fly off because the flight deck is damaged. That's true. Excuse me, that could happen. But so there we are. So we'll stop here with video 5. The Solomons campaign was much like the Coral Sea campaign, with a lot of confusion. Fletcher he had the Enterprise, the Wasp, and the Saratoga. And he had sent the Wasp to refuel. And so the Wasp was not there when the fighting took place. And Fletcher sent strike force at what was a small carrier, a light carrier, the Ruhu, and was able to sink the light carrier, but the Japanese were able to send a strike force that basically followed some of the task force planes coming back to Fletcher's group, and they were able to do some heavy damage to the Enterprise. Several hits knocked her flight deck out for a while, and the Saratoga escaped attack, and I believe there was a battleship, can't think of which battleship, that was also attacked, but the anti-aircraft fire from that battleship tore up the attacking planes, but Fletcher was able to get all of the planes off the flight deck, Enterprise, but they didn't know where the Japanese big carriers were. And so they didn't have any directions. They didn't have any instructions. And so they flew out to where the Ruhu was at. And, of course, was sunk. So they weren't able to find the Japanese and attack them. So the Japanese lost a light carrier, and the Americans had the Enterprise heavily damaged. I think the Cheetos, it got shell shocked. Some bombs landed beside her, and she caught on fire and had some damage as a result of that. But they were able to get all that under control. But so yeah, the Solomon carrier battle, the Eastern Solomons, was much like the Coral Sea, where there's a lot of confusion, especially at least on the American side and the United States naval side. And Fletcher was not an airman, even though he was the most experienced carrier commander at the time. He was the commander at the Midway battle, and but he was not an airman. So they say, well, that was one of the issues when he had all of these planes taken off. They weren't given any kind of direction. He was more concerned about saving. He's trying to save his ships. He was a shipman, naval shipman. So come up through the ranks there. But he learned tactics pretty fast, the carrier tactics and so forth. So, but this was an indecisive conflict at the Solomons, and instead of the United States being able to knock out two of Japan's remaining large carriers, all they got was a small carrier. It could have been maybe knocked out both the Zakakuku and the Zukakuku. Cuckoo. But here Japan also loses, of course, more of their experienced airmen. So some more big losses for them. And for me, I'm taking a beating here because I've lost airstrike power and I've lost the Lexington until I can get her back to Pearl Harbor to get repaired. So that's where I'm at. And this will be the end of video 5. And a lot of the information I'm giving you comes out of Carriers in Combat, the Air War at Sea by Chester G. Hearn, which is a Stackpole military history series, a book. So check that one out. It covers carrier combat, not just in World War II, but at other times as well. So appreciate your support. Hope you're enjoying this video, and hopefully this is giving you an idea about whether or not this is let me get that marker, put it over here, something that you'd be interested in. And the next operation that'll be taking place is the Midway operation. That's already got some movement going to it, but there you see right here is where all of the task forces are at: the Guard, the main body, the 1st Carrier Strike Force, and the Invasion Force. So that'll be the next video. So come back for that. Appreciate you. See you next time.